the time being, war is very much a present evil, and it has become inevitable, even in peaceful democracies, to accustom children to the use of gas masks. How long ago is it since a picture like this would have been either abhorred or ridiculed? But today, the education of small children in methods of self-preservation is recognized as a humane proceeding. Though war will probably not come over Czechoslovakia, it still remains a ghastly spectre on the international horizon.
I suppose I was school age because I remember taking it to school. I can't remember carrying it round much before that, so I would have been about 4 coming 5, I expect, because I remember the man coming round, presumably from the council, to tell us how to use it and not to be scared. And it was made to look like Mickey Mouse with a funny wobbly nose and little ears and things, you know, and the mask itself that filtered out the gas was a bright green metal. So yeah, I can remember him coming round and saying it's nothing to be frightened of. I can't say that it worried me because gas, and I mean, you had a gas cooker at home, so what was gas? We cooked by it. I don't think I was frightened of it, but I remember it was a cardboard box that just fitted the gas mask with a string, and you had it over your shoulder, so wherever you went people were carrying them. So we had to put it on when you went out of your house. You didn't have it indoors obviously, but out of the house you needed to have it with you. I think my mother would have been so worried if we'd gone off without it, she'd have chased after me. I can imagine that. I can remember wearing it, and it fitted over your whole head, where there were straps over the top of your head and round here, so that it couldn't move. You couldn't knock it off or pull it off. Being a child, you could pull it off thinking, oh, I don't want it on. But I can remember it really had to, once it was on, it would have had to stay on. But fortunately, I never used it in real life, as it were. The drills were really to get to the shelter, because we had a shelter at school, yes, we would have put it on before we left the classroom to go out through with all of us together to where the shelters were in the playground. The ones we had at school were like the old, now what were they called, Anderson shelters, which is a corrugated corrugated thing like this, and it was, each end had a kind of a concrete bit where the door was, where you went in, and the other, right at the long end of it, there was another concrete wall. But as far as I can remember with that one, you had to go out. If you needed to get out, you'd have to go out the way you came in. This was a primary school, probably about 3 classes, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. So maybe getting on for 100, but I don't remember it being crowded. There were trestle forms all the way down each side. The only toilet we had was one bucket at the very end, and over the front of that was a big sack, and that's all we had. So we had to, if we wanted to use the toilet for whatever reason, that's what we had to do. We weren't allowed to go out back into the school for the toilet. The first thing I can say, I wasn't frightened. I don't remember ever being frightened of things falling on us while we were in there or anything like that. And I think the school teachers must have been fantastic people, because they would have been the ones that were frightened for our sakes. I think because of being such a young age when the war started, I don't remember being afraid. I remember knowing that people were being hurt and things were happening, but fear didn't come into it. I think our parents were the ones that were afraid, and they took the brunt of that, and I think they probably didn't let us know all the things that we could have known.